Welcome to Night Potato's Ultimate Windbomb Guide. In this guide, I will give you some of the tips and tricks that aren't mentioned in most windbomb tutorials that helped me go from being an average windbomber to a windbomb pro in less than an hour. And yes, I know there are other types of windbombs and other methods of doing them that I don't mention in this video. I'm just here to share the most useful and most fun types of windbombs and the methods that worked best for me. First, you need to know how a wind bomb works. Most people already know this, but in case you don't, a wind bomb works by detonating one bomb, which launches the other bomb into Link's butt. It isn't the explosion that launches Link, it's the second bomb hitting Link's butt at high speeds that launches him. So let's talk about the most common and arguably the most useful type of wind bomb, the ledge wind bomb. The basic idea is fairly simple. You find a ledge that you can get bullet time off of, you jump off, place the first bomb, enter bullet time, place the second bomb, and then detonate the first bomb. But here are the tips that helped me get it down with 99% consistency. Tip number 1. Drop the round bomb first and the square bomb second. A lot of people prefer having the round bomb get launched into Link, but in my testing, I found that it was usually slower and gave less height, so have the square bomb hit you. Tip number 2, and this is a big one, lock on during the entire process. Many people had recommended that I try locking on to get better at wind bombs, but I refused to do it because I couldn't see how it would help. Trust me, it makes your wind bombs way easier and way more consistent. Here's a quick video from my mod, Crickety Cricket, showing how to lock on wind bomb when you have enemies around you. Just lock on while using your scope, and when you exit the scope, you'll be locked on in the direction you were facing. Tip number 3. The placement of your first bomb doesn't matter that much. I used to think it had to be placed in a specific spot for your wind bomb to work, but if you do everything else right, it just slightly alters the angle you get launched at. Tip number 4, another big one, place the second bomb right when Link's right foot goes above his left like this. This only happens if you follow tip number 2 and lock on for your wind bombs. You'll see Link's right foot slowly raise, and right when he pulls it above his left foot is the perfect time to drop your second bomb. Then you can go back to the first bomb and detonate it immediately. I recommend you practice ledge wind bombs and get it down consistently before you move on to another type. Speaking of another type, let's talk about vertical gliding wind bombs, which will launch you at decent speeds but get you a lot of height so you can stay in the air. The goal of a vertical gliding wind bomb is to basically recreate a ledge wind bomb in midair, so just like with a ledge, you want the first bomb to be lower than the second bomb when you detonate. That way it hits Link at a good angle and launches him high up. To achieve this, we need a little more timing than we do with the ledge wind bomb, and this is my preferred method. Stop all or most of your forward momentum while gliding, so Link will just be slowly floating straight down to the ground. Drop the round bomb and move forward at the same time. This will get the round bomb to drop directly behind Link. Now you want to wait until the bomb is right around or just below Link's feet and enter bullet time. If you enter bullet time too late, then the bomb will be too far away. If you enter it too soon, then the bomb won't drop down enough and you'll have to wait for your second bomb to line up with Link's butt, which works way less consistently. Once the round bomb is lined up with or below Link's feet and you've entered bullet time, quickly drop the square bomb and detonate the round bomb when the angle looks like it'll hit Link's butt. If you waited the right amount of time before entering bullet time, then you should be able to detonate the first bomb immediately after dropping the second. That was a lot, so here's a brief recap. Stop moving forward, start moving forward and drop the round bomb at the same time, enter bullet time when the round bomb is around the same level as Link's feet, drop the square bomb, and detonate the round bomb as long as you're lined up properly. Now let's talk about horizontal gliding wind bombs, which launch you at insane speeds but with very little height gain. This method is fairly simple, you just need to be fast. Glide forward at full speed and as fast as you can, drop the round bomb, enter bullet time, then drop the square bomb. You need to do all of that very quickly so the bombs aren't too far apart or too far away from you. Now that you're in bullet time, wait for the bombs to be lined up with Link's back instead of his butt, and then detonate the round bomb and you should go flying. Last couple of tips for gliding wind bombs. If you want to change direction quickly while gliding, just enter bullet time briefly and aim in the direction you want to go. Also, a lot of people talk about how you need to line up the square bomb with a cardinal or intercardinal direction to get a good launch, and from what I've seen, it isn't entirely necessary with ledge wind bombs, but with gliding wind bombs, it is way more consistent if you line it up properly. Now that you know the basic types of wind bombs, I only need to cover a couple of the specific things for these next types. Spider wind bombs. This type is pretty simple and it works on any climbable surface. Just jump backwards off of a wall or surface and quickly drop the first bomb, enter bullet time, drop the second bomb, then detonate the first. I still recommend getting hit by the square bomb, but other than that, the timing is pretty forgiving here. Next up are some Mastercycle Windbombs. First we have the dismount wind bomb, where you jump off of the Mastercycle and near the peak of your jump, you just do a normal wind bomb. I don't really have any tips here, except it's best to wait to drop your first bomb until you're near the peak of your jump, or else it won't line up properly. Now onto Mastercycle back wind bomb, or whatever people call it. For this one, you want to stand near the back tire of the Mastercycle and face it at an angle like this. Now you just want to jump towards the back of the back tire and basically perform a ledge wind bomb. I don't know why this lets you enter bullet time, but it does. My only tip here is to perform it faster than a ledge wind bomb. Don't wait for the right foot to be above the left, just drop both bombs and detonate pretty quickly. But honestly, I still can't perform it super consistently, so if you have a tip for this type of wind bomb, let me know in the comments. Next we have the shield spin cancel wind bomb, and this one is a doozy, but it is also the best way to get a wind bomb from flat ground. First, you gotta know how to shield spin cancel. It's a very similar setup to Fosbury flop. You shield surf, press Y to spin and then X to jump, and when your shield is one frame off of the ground, pause. Now you just need to hold any item and unpause. If you can't hold an item while paused, then you didn't get the timing right. And that's a shield spin cancel. It basically launches you high enough into the air that you can enter bullet time. Now you just need to shield spin cancel, and when you unpause, quickly perform a wind bomb without worrying about timing. I have a couple of tips for this one. Tip number 1. You should practice shield spin cancels and try to get that down a bit before you attempt to follow it up with a wind bomb. Tip number 2. When performing the shield spin cancel, I find it easiest to pull up the map and then switch to your inventory instead of just hitting the pause button. This is because it's usually too hard to try and move your thumb from the X button to the pause button within a couple of frames. Finally, I want to talk about doing a wind bomb without sight or sound. This is the final step on your road to wind bomb mastery. This may seem unnecessary, but it's actually useful. Sometimes a wind bomb won't work properly and Link will just unragdoll like this. This is due to the game being a little overloaded, oftentimes happening when there are too many trees on the screen. To get around this, you can perform a wind bomb while looking straight into the sky, removing any lag and allowing you to get launched normally. Obviously, this is just a matter of building up muscle memory, but I have a good tip to help with that. As you're practicing your ledge and gliding wind bombs, start trying them out while squinting. I know it sounds silly, but it genuinely helped me to slowly lose a little bit of sight while practicing. Once you have it down while squinting, try it with your eyes closed. Then the final test is eyes closed without being able to hear. If you can perform a ledge and gliding wind bomb without sight or sound, then I officially dub you a wind bomb master. And that's it. As I said before, I know there are other wind bomb types and methods to do them out there, but I just wanted to cover what I think is important. If there's a type of wind bomb or a method that you think I should cover, let me know in the comments. Also, I'd like to thank Crickety Cricket. Most of these tips come from him as he was helping me become a master. He is truly my wind bomb sensei.